As a test director, I see a number of Formblatt 1s come in with errors. So I'm putting together this video today to help folks correctly fill out a Formblatt 1 so that they can register for the JGHV test of their choice. Before you start filling out your form, please be sure to have your dog's ahnentafel and your current hunting license in front of you. You will need to reference both of those items as you fill out this form. So for today, we're going to work on signing up a Deutsch Langhaar for an HZP. So we'll click on the HZP box. Next we need to select if that test has a hair track or not. Most tests are not going to have a hair track, but you'll be able to find this information in the test announcement itself. Next, you're asked to fill out which organization is sponsoring the test that you want to run your dog in. In this case, I'm trying to sign up my dog for a VDD GNA test. Their club number is 2135. Next, it asks for the place the test is being held. Go back to the original test announcement. So here we're on the VDD GNA test calendar. I want to sign her up for this test. The location is listed as Grand Island, Nebraska. So we will write that in exactly as it appears. We'll add USA because these forms are being used both here and in Germany. Next, it asks for the date of the test. The test will be held on September 26th and 27th. So we'll write that in the European fashion of day first, then month, then year. Your dog's only going to be running on one day, but go ahead and write the dates for the entire weekend as you don't know yet which day you will be running. Then it asks for the name of the handler. So in most cases this is going to be yourself. Please put down your zip code where you live and the name of the town or city in which you live. Next, the form asks for the name of your dog. This is to be copied exactly as it reads on the ahnentafel. So reference your dog's ahnentafel. For Deutsch Langhaars, the name is going to be right here in this first box. So this is Maisie vom Koreschatten. Next, the form asks for her whelp date. So we can look down here where it says Wurf datum. That means litter or whelp date. So it's June 10th, 2019. So the 10th of June, 2019. She is a female. Next, we'll fill in the chip number that you can find on your dog's ahnentafel. 2760934. Okay. Every box should be filled out. If you have a blank box, you've missed a number in the series, you need to go back and retype in the number. Then it asks for what breed of dog you have. Again, she's a Deutsch Langhaar. Other people watching this video might have a Deutsch Drahthaar or a Kleiner Münsterländer or a Deutsch Kurzhaar. Put in the appropriate breed. And then it asks for her registration number. In Langhaars, the registration number is always the last digits of the chip number. So the year is 2019, 379. But to be safe, so I know it's 379.19, they invert the number the dog has with the year. But you can also double check on your ahnentafel. This dog is registered in the Zook book for Deutsch Langhaars under this number. So the box here has this 379.19. That's her registration number. Next, it asks for her dog stud book number. Dogs will only have this number if they've completed a VGP. Most dogs running an HZP will not have, so we'll leave that blank. Then it asks for the name of the mother. If you don't already have it memorized, reference your ahnentafel. For Langhaars, it'll be on the second page of the ahnentafel. The male dogs are always listed on the top, so this is her sire, Livis von Weibach, and then her mom is listed down below. Just like this is her grandpa and this is her grandma. So we can find her dam as Ivanka vom Koreschatten. Her registration number is 48515. So we've already got Ivanka's name. We'll go ahead and write in 48515. She has not passed a VGP, so again we'll leave this dog stud book number blank. Next, it asks for the name of the sire. So again we can reference the ahnentafel and see that Maisie's sire is Livis von Weibach. His registration number is 31716. Now, it asks for his dog stud book number, and if there is one, it will be listed right next to the registration number. For instance, if you look at Livis' sire, Kai von Alt-Humling, you can see that he's got a registration number followed by his dog stud book number, which is always a 5-digit number. Luke had not passed a VGP before this ahnentafel was printed. However, since he's my dog, I know he did pass one afterwards, so I can reference his VGP card and see that his dog stud book number is 73436. So if you know the dog's passed a VGP, you can ask the owner for the dog stud book number. Otherwise, just leave it blank if you're unsure or if it's not already printed on the ahnentafel. Okay, next it asks what color is Maisie. Again, you can reference the ahnentafel where right here, Farbe color. She's braun with Weißer Brustfleck. Which just means she's brown with a white marking. Next it asks for a height at the shoulders. You only have to put that in if the dog's already completed a breed show. She has not, so I'm going to leave it blank. Then it asks for the name and location of the breeder. I actually bred this dog as well. You don't have to put in the full address, but put in the city and state and country. And then it asks for the name of the owner and the address of the owner. So here I can just put in my own information. Oops, I should probably put in the zip code. And my phone number. Next it asks for the name of the trainer. In this case, this is also me. If you've hired another trainer for your dog, this is where you'd put that information in. And then finally, who's going to be the handler of the dog on test day. In this case, that will also be me. Hopefully it's also you. If you're going to have someone else handle your dog, please put their information in there. And then I'm going to copy my information over here as well. So I know this is a bit redundant if you are the owner, the trainer, and the handler, but please fill out every box. Don't leave anything blank here, because it is often the case that we see alternate trainers or handlers. So you need to fill out every piece of information here. Finally, it asks for the email of the handler. And that's so the test director can communicate with them and send them the test program and so on. And then it says, is the handler a licensed hunter? You must check yes. Only licensed hunters are allowed to run dogs in JGHV testing. So then to confirm that, it asks for your hunting license number. Since the licensing is a little different in every state here, I would recommend that you first put in what state your license was issued in. So I'm going to put Nebraska, and then quickly pull up a copy of your last hunting license, and you can write in the permit number there. So this permit number is 10163. When you run your dog in the test, the judge can ask to see a copy of your license before the test to confirm that you are a licensed hunter, so that's why we're writing down this information here. And then of course on test day you should bring a copy of your license in addition to the copy or the original ahnentafel. Okay, then it asks for what previous tests your dog may have run and how did they score. This is JGHV test only. Do not write in any NAVDA scores or any other tests that your dog might have run in. Normally, if we're signing a dog up for an HZP, we would have a VJP score report here. Because we've had coronavirus this year and most VJPs were canceled, I don't have anything to write here for Maisie. But please keep in mind in future years, if you're filling out this section, you will usually have a VJP score to write in. Then it asks, has the dog previously been tested on search behind the duck? She has not. If your dog has, then you would check yes, and it asks that you provide a copy of that. So basically you just send in your previous HCP score sheet or a VGP score sheet if the dog had run those. But again, this is a young HCP dog. She's not been tested on that yet. And then it says, has she been tested for loud and any of these 3 other tests that are available through JGHV? 99% of Americans are going to write no there. And then has she, let's see, then it asks for their form and hair rating from a breed show. So most HCP dogs are going to have to leave this blank because they're too young to have completed a breed show yet. So we'll leave that blank because Maisie has not been in a breed show. This next section is for VGP only, or VPS, and it's just asking you, do you want to run your dog with just a leash on, like a normal day blood track? Do you want to try to do the dead game bear or the dead game guide? So since we're signing up for an HZP, we will leave this entirely blank, but if you were running a VGP or VPS, you would need to check mark one of those 3 boxes. Next it asks, which JGHV club is the owner of the dog a member of? If you're a member of the club that's hosting the test, please write that in here. In this case, I am a VDD GNA member, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down. If you're not a VDD GNA member, write whatever club you're a member of. That makes a difference for who they might allow into the test, so make sure you fill that out accurately. And then finally it asks for your full name and contact information again, or your address specifically. And since I'm the one that's sending in this application to run in the test, I'm putting all my information in again. This will usually be whoever the handler is or the owner. I know it's redundant, but please complete this section again. Alright, and finally we're at the bottom of the form where it asks for the date that you've completed the form. Today is April 28th. And then we'll put in the place, which by that they mean the name of the town, the state, and USA. And then finally the signature of the entering person. Now this should be an original signature, so at this point I would save a copy of this form. I always recommend to everybody that you save copies of everything, and then print it off. And then once it's printed, take a pen and sign your name in here. And then after that, you've completed the form, and it's just up to you to finish the rest of the instructions for entering a test. It is slightly different for each group that is hosting a test. So for instance, for VDD GNA, they're going to ask for 3 copies of this form with my signature, as well as 1 copy of my dog's ahnentafel, and then of course a check with the entry fee. So please check with your test director or the test announcement to see how many copies of each form you need to send in and to complete the application packet. And as always, make sure you get it in as early as you possibly can. Most of these tests fill up very quickly, so it's important that you get your entry submitted so test directors can plan accordingly. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. All my information is on this form. And again, just make sure that you take the time to fill out this form correctly so that the test director can accept it as is and does not have to mail it back to you. Thank you so much, and good luck with testing.